Hi guys, my name is Anna, and today I do want to talk about Rembrandt. And what if I told you that one of his rarest paintings is not in the Netherlands but in Poland? And not just any paintings, one of six oil landscapes that he's ever created. When I visited Poland, I had a chance to see this painting in real life, and honestly, it changed the way I see Rembrandt. So today I want to talk about the whole story, like about the artist, about this painting, and how this masterpiece ended up in Poland. Rembrandt was born in 1606 in the Netherlands during Dutch Golden Age, when the art, science, and the trade was kind of like blooming there. He is famous for his dramatic use of lights and shadows, and the techniques is called chiaroscuro. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right, but something like this. I'm gonna put it somewhere here. His portraits feel alive, his faces show deep emotion. He made a lot of self-portraits as well, but landscapes, it was something a bit unusual for him. In fact, he painted hundreds of works, but only six landscapes. That is known till this day. That makes landscape with the Good Samaritan super rare and valuable, and it already makes this painting special even before we look closer to this masterpiece. When you first see landscape with the Good Samaritan, it doesn't actually look like a biblical scene at the first glance at all. There is large sky, heavy clouds, and the light coming through those clouds. You see trees, a road, some distant buildings there, and the colors are very rich and deep. But then you notice something small. At the lowest part of this painting, there is a man helping another man. This is the biblical story of the Good Samaritan, a story about kindness and compassion. What is fascinating is that Rembrandt made human figures very small, so the landscape is much bigger and more powerful, so you wouldn't really notice those people at the first glance. It feels like nature is overwhelming, dramatic, and emotional. And yet, in the middle of this huge world, the acts of kindness becomes the most important scene that happens right now. When I saw it in real life, I was surprised by the textures of paint. You can see the brush strokes. The light feels so real that you just can't stop looking at it. It is definitely very different from seeing it online. Standing in front of it, I felt calm but also emotional, and I was super lucky that there were almost no people around me at all. Like sometimes it felt like I'm look so sometimes it felt like I'm walking through the empty museum and it belongs only to me, and this experience is honestly unbelievable. So the story of the Good Samaritan comes from the Bible. A man is attacked and left on the road injured. Several people pass through him and ignore him, but only one, the Good Samaritan, helped him. The message is simple but powerful. You should help others, even like strangers. Rembrandt placed it in a large dramatic landscape. Maybe he wanted to show us that those small acts of kindness usually happens, mm, sometimes maybe unseen for us and unnoticed, but they still happening every day. Kindness happens quietly and it's not supposed to be always loud and noticeable. In this painting, the light plays important role. The light guides our eyes towards the act of help. This is typical Rembrandt. He used light to show not only the object, but the meaning. But why this rare Dutch masterpiece in Krakow? This painting is the part of collection in Czartoryski Museum in Krakow. So this painting was bought by Princess Isabella Czartoryska. She was Polish aristocrat and art collector, and she wanted to create a museum that would protect national heritage and art history in general. So she collected important European artworks, not only Polish, but kind of like international masterpieces. Over time, the Czartoryski collection became one of the most valuable art collections in Poland. Today, Landscape with the Good Samaritan is one of only three Rembrandt paintings in Poland. So that makes it even more unique. It's actually amazing to think that this painting traveled across so many countries and centuries just to find its home in Poland. This painting is almost 400 years old. It survived wars, traveling across countries, and it's still here telling us the story of about kindness, and maybe that's why it feels so powerful today. So if you ever visit Krakow, I highly recommend it you to go and see this painting in real life, because art on the screen is beautiful, but when you see this masterpiece in real life, this experience is honestly unforgettable. And that's all for now. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and have a good day. Bye.